Hello, hello, welcome to WIP IT Thursday. With me tonight is me, myself, and I. Custom can will be on a little later. But I got plenty to keep me busy. I'm working on the McFarlane Cyborg Superman. And been painting up this place with missing paint. Just the coat on the silver a few minutes ago. But I've been putting in a wash on the rest of the parts. And it's looking up, turned out pretty good. Got the head all detailed out. Also, got the torso. Painting the neck, because they painted half the neck silver, which should have been flesh tone over here. And it's sculpted to be flesh, but they painted it silver. So, taking care of that. Need one more coat should do with that. Darth's in the house. Party on, Darth. And go ahead and do the last coat on that. I'm going to do the, not tonight, but I'm also going to do like part of this shield in like metallic, the way it was in the comics. By chance, I had some paint already mixed up that's very close to the skin tone that's on this. And then outside everyone, hello, sir. Hey, Quinn. We found the Cyborg Superman too, and I actually got an extra one. A buddy of mine found one yesterday too, and so I got one that's going to be custom. One to leave alone. Yeah, so best of both worlds. Yeah, I thought he was supposed to be GameStop exclusive, and now he showed up like everywhere. Like GameStop, he was like $30, and my buddy just bought it for me for like 22. So I don't know. Weird. Okay. Some readers on. I said one more coat, maybe a second one after this one. Yeah, Walmart had them for $22.99. Yeah, they were like $30 on GameStop. Now they're cheaper. It's great for everybody, but I already got one where I paid. This one I paid more for, and Sector actually got this one for me, and I paid him back. This one I bought it from GameStop. Their website was being junk. Wouldn't let me order. Let that dry. It's weird that he didn't paint this giant spot on the leg. It's supposed to be silver. And the back of the forearm, on the back of the bicep, for the tricep area. I'll get it right in a minute. about fell asleep before the stream, so. Yeah. Also found the retro Super Friends Batman evil Batman figures. That's cool. And what do you think about the Hasbro Legends video game figures? I kind of got mixed feelings on that. Like, they cheaped out on Maximum Hulk, only doing new shoulders, upper torso, ab section, feet, and hands, and of course the head sculpts. The rest of it's 80th anniversary Hulk. Then they tool up a oversized, brand new, hyper articulated Juggernaut. It's like, what the hell? They're like, hell, if you Hulk fans, you like Juggernaut better. But a lot of them are good though. Psylocke was cool. I just hate you gotta get it. Comes in a 2-pack. Our Legends reveals were great, but not too thrilled about them being mostly exclusives. Yeah, like everything's gonna be fan channel and Amazon exclusive. Also, this morning I went ahead I got the retro card rock and roll figure. I had to redo his eyebrows. His eyebrows were like black. It looked ridiculous. And it looked like he had 2 like woodworms over top of his eyes. Yeah, the figures look great on what they showed. I just hate they're all 2-packs. I don't need another Thanos. And I like that Psylocke though. I like it a lot. That's what really kills me. Like when she's in a 2-pack, now I would have bought extras of her. That's a good looking figure. I was working today, so I missed part of the stream. I didn't go back and check it out. Does Omega Red, is he on the updated torso with like the Venom and X-Force Warpath? Seems like be a good excuse to upgrade them if they're going to release them again. I have to get the Captain America and sell it. Yeah, the Captain America looks cool. I'm happy to see that. That looks like a good new buck. I know it's got the star mold on it, but they can do a separate chest. But it's a good size. It's what we've been saying for a while. They need a in between like a Hercules Hyperion mold. A something in between Grim Reaper and Hercules, and that looks like that fits the build right there. You like the older one, Omega Red from the 5-pack. I was hoping, like, if you're going to do another release of Omega Red, at least if you give an excuse to upgrade your old one. I have 2 Omega Reds on my shelf right now. Well, one on my shelf, one in the box somewhere. Didn't really need another one. Oh, my Red has a new shoulder harness. Well, that's good. So hopefully that means he's got the new torso too. Tonight's stream is brought to you by RC Cola. Me and my RC. Something I shouldn't be drinking. Oh well. Yeah, it's like someone. I don't know, named Field. I don't know what the deal is, and I'm not calling him that actual name. I don't know if there's some kind of legal rights issue with the name or the original creators or something. It's odd. I thought just popped the head from the other one on there, but the skin tones are drastically different. This one's a lot more pink. He looks like he's a ginger that's been out in the sun a little bit. Alright. About done with my Cyborg Superman. Oh, then I need to do the S. That and the Juggernaut. The Juggernaut is got huge amount of articulation. All new sculpt. It's just kind of infuriating to think about. They did all that for Juggernaut, and kind of skipped out building Maximum Hulk. We got how many parts on the Maximum Hulk? On the body itself, not counting the heads. New upper torso, ab section, shoulders, feet. The rest of it's all 80 Monster Hulk. It's not a terrible figure. Not worth $60 though. That Juggernaut will be $60. I don't. The $60 price point when it's all new tooling, like, that's what the Odin figure was. It was $60. Didn't mind that because it was all new tooling. That's going. Yeah, it moves really well, but that thing's going to deteriorate and break down over time. It's like the DCUC Swamp Thing. That thing, mine don't get touched. It's the only reason mine's together. I do not articulate that figure. It might as well be a statue. Probably should spray it down on some like Armor All or Tire Shine or something other like this to soften up the rubber. But yeah, I don't touch that thing. They could use that body for a 90s combined Hulk with the boots. That figure is gigantic. It is crazy, like how big that thing is. I know they were replicating the game. In the game, they had Juggernaut huge, which I never did understand that in the game, because especially during that time period, Hulk was bigger than Juggernaut. In the comics. It wasn't until like real Juggernaut started tapping into the full power of the Crytek crystal before we got huge. For the longest time, which they used to list to Hulk like 7'1", 7'2", and Juggernaut what 6'8", something like that. In the guidebooks. good. I actually wouldn't mind on seeing Hasbro actually take a page out of the KO companies and make a Juggernaut on the Hulk body. Those are great.
Good evening.
Good evening. Queen comments that they could just put spacers and better ball joint for the shoulders, like they did with the Juggernaut figure they revealed that today. Yeah, that Juggernaut's something else. He's kind of too big for my taste for Juggernaut.
It's nice that they're making a big figure, but I'm not happy with all the 2-packs that they're selling.
Yeah, I want most of those, just one of the figures out of those 2-packs.
Exactly. I mean, half of those making some of them exclusive.
Oh yeah.
The 2-packs just guarantees that I'm not going to be getting some of those, and then making them exclusive just ensures that there are some of them that I would mind getting, right, that I might try to get that I won't be able to get because they're exclusive. I never get to, like, if they're exclusive, I never get to order it in time for them to actually get me the stuff, or they cancel the order later.
Yeah, Quinn's talking about, I get the reason they're using the Gamerverse term instead of Capcom, mostly due to the license rights. Yeah, they have to pay for Capcom logo if they use it.
So, and for the game, Juggernaut was huge in the game.
Oh, yeah, he was absolutely gigantic in the game.
For the material that they're using, I think he's the appropriate size. But
that's one thing.
Juggernaut, he's big.
I love those Capcom games back in the day, but it never made sense to me why Juggernaut was that big in the games, because he wasn't that big in the comics.
Yeah.
Not until the 2000s when he started like tapping into the full power of the Crytek crystal.
He was pretty large in the cartoon.
The
X-Men.
But not that big.
He was pretty darn big.
Oh, he was big, but that figure is gigantic. I want the Gamerverse figures, except for the War Machine versus Omega Red. Proto. It's with the recolor. I'm curious to see if the Omega Red has the new torso. Quinn said it has a new harness on the Omega Red.
I only got a brief look at them before I got on.
Yeah. Almost all of them are going to be exclusives. Yeah,
I don't like that.
Alpha Proto, like Juggernaut was a sub boss. Yeah, that's why he was so big. This cost you. Size does not equate power.
That's not what she said. I like the Wolverine. I won't be getting him. I have enough Wolverines, but I like the bigger mask player.
Yeah, the mask is nice. I think he's more muscular too, isn't he?
Yeah, his thighs are a lot bigger. I don't know about the arms and stuff. He's got pretty beefy arms on the figure anyway.
I have zero interest in the Fantastic Four movie figures.
Yeah, I don't either. I don't like the what do you call it? I can't think of the name. The pleated looking pants with all the lines on
them. Shuma Goliath. Yeah, that's going to be an exclusive too, I believe. Isn't it? It's weird you don't call them that.
Yeah, that name's copyrighted, so they can't.
Well, He's called that in the comics.
Well, he was called that in the comics. Is he still?
I don't know.
I don't think he is. That Captain America looks pretty good, but I already have a good-looking Captain America. I don't need any of these figures.
No, we don't need any of them. Period.
No. The only ones that stand out to me that I might get if the price is right would be the Juggernaut and Psylocke.
I would say what's gonna be salt in the wound. Juggernaut's probably gonna be the same price as Maximum Hulk, $60.
He's bigger than Maximum Hulk too.
I know. That's what I'm saying. That's gonna be salt in the wound. It's like he's bigger than Maximum Hulk, and he's all new tooling.
Yeah.
Even more articulation.
And he has a forward butterfly joint on what looks like a solid chest.
Yep. Boot cuts.
So the people who are in that camp are going to be like, you guys could have done it the whole time and you didn't.
Uh-huh.
So I don't know. Venom in blue, I'm not a fan.
I like the big. I'm more curious what they're going to end up doing with that cat body later on, because it's a nice bigger buck. It's what we've been talking about before. They need something that's in between Hercules and Grim Reaper for more muscular characters, but are not huge, and that looks like a good body.
I need to finish my
Bedrock.
I don't know. I'm good with him just being how he is. He got the tennis shoes on. He's got the 3-fingered hands. He got the face. No shirt. I mean, the only thing that I might add to him would be like a soft goods T-shirt or something.
You can get like a 1/6 scale, like tank tops. They fit those figures really good for like a muscular 1/6 scale.
Yeah.
I got one on my Smart Hulk custom.
Didn't Badrock have like a gym in the comic books at some point in time?
I have no idea.
I think he was the owner of a gym.
I'll say yes, even though I don't know.
Alpha Proto says Jugs is epic.
Yes, looks really good.
I thought the last was good. Now it's even better. So what I hear here is that
Infinity and beyond.
Alpha Proto likes the epic Jugs. Of course, he had a gym. How else would he work out and get that big? My question is, why did his father's secret soldier super serum make him lose a finger on both hands? That doesn't make any sense.
And sometimes he looks like he's from Canada.
I think he is Canada.
I've seen artwork where he looks like a South Park Canadian, where like his head's coming off his head. You know, we want more money.
Yeah, the truth's out there, Alpha Proto. We know your secrets.
We want more money.
Yeah. It made me do a whole bunch of weird stuff when I logged in. I see why. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Well, if I can leave. I can't even leave.
Boom, 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 boom. There we are.
Yep, I'm back.
Look who's back. Back again.
Now, yeah. Now I know why it wasn't recognizing me as me.
You weren't you? Were you needed a Snickers?
No, I was not being a diva. Bart says, "Happy Thursday, gents." And Withheld says, "The same reason the thing has 4 fingers." Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. I don't like it. I don't like it when the fingers and toe numbers don't match.
Well, I think doesn't the things toes numbers, feet, nose, and doesn't the things toes and the fingers numbers match?
I don't know. I'd have to go look.
He's got 4 toes and 4 fingers. I got one on the back of the shelf behind me.
Is that 4 fingers and a thumb, or 4 total phalanges?
It's 3 fingers and a thumb. He's got 4 phalanges total.
Yeah, I could understand if like one of his cracked off and broke when he got changed, but they never go over that specifically. They're just like, oh, he did something. Now
his middle fingers just fused together.
Is that what happened?
Yeah.
I think you're just making that up right now. Alpro says, "I was planning on scaling back on the collecting because of the prices. Then they had to announce all of them Game Reverse figures. My jaw was dropping the entire presentation." We're going to get some glue for your fingers when we stop doing this infinity camera stuff as soon as I figure out what I'm going to work on this evening. Yeah, I'm so tired.
Well, I about fell asleep before the stream, so
I'm working my butt off, man.
I sent you the new Illustrator file.
Okay. So, I was trying to print a coffin, right, for
right.
1+ scale figures. And it was like, it wasn't coming out the way that I wanted, and it always had like some kind of shifted line in it. So it wasn't really something I could use. So I was like, the heck with it. And I went and I decided I would try out PCB Way's printing service for 2 1/12 scale size coffins. It was $118.12. It took 14 emails to get them to print it.
Okay.
Because they were worried about some of the things, and I was like, "You don't worry about that. That'll print. If your printers are better than my printers, then it'll print, no problem. Just make sure you support it correctly." So $118 for 2 prints, and then they shipped it because I started getting it ordered all the way back before tariffs, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then they printed it and shipped it like after the final 14th email to confirm that I was okay taking the risk that it may not possibly print exactly perfect. I was like, yeah, I'm good. Okay, yeah, I'm good. And they're like, well, it's got this little hole in it someplace. Okay, just print it. Okay. So they finally printed it and sent it to. They're just making sure that they weren't taking any risks, so that if my file wasn't good, that they weren't out money, on a failed print. So, I understand why it took 14 emails to get them to finally print it and send it to me, but yeah, anyway. So then I finally got it printed and shipped, and then they held it for tariffs, and then tariffs, and this is the DHL, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I looked up what the tariffs should be on it ahead of time. So the tariffs from China should have been about 30%. But they charged me about $12 more for their tariff fee than what it should have been, which makes me mad because like I said, I looked it up the same day to see what the charge should be for when I paid the tariff. Well, first of all, it took me a long time to figure out and find the exact place where I was supposed to pay the tariffs for it. Because when I went and put in the tracking number, it told me that I had to pay the tariffs, but then it didn't have a clear route between you have to pay tariffs to here's where you pay tariffs on their website. I had to go to like a third website that's a different, it's like PC, or it's like a DHL Express Plus or something. I don't know. It was ridiculous. It was a pain in the butt. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, so long story short, these two coffins cost me about like $160.
Great day.
Which is ridiculous. $60 a piece when it was $118, I was okay with. But when you tack on another, I guess like it would more like 100. Let's see, because of the tariff, and then the tariff should have been about $30, and then they tacked on another whatever, so it ended up being $48, right?
Mm-hmm. I kind of like the purple and red.
Yeah, it's yeah, so it ended up costing about almost $170 to get the two of them printed and finally shipped. So that's $80 a piece, which is about $20 too much. But it told me two things. Here's what I learned. The first thing is that I don't charge nearly enough for the shit that I print. And the second thing is that I should not order anything from outside the United States until they sort these tariffs out.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then somebody told me today that they did away with the tariffs or whatever. Some like court something or other went through. I don't know if it's true or not, but that's what they told me. And then that made me mad. So really, the whole thing just made me unhappy. The prints look really nice, though. I will give them that. They do look nice, and they don't have any. They're good quality. They don't have any like issues with like layer lines or anything like that. The finish on them is good. They're nice. They're clean. The inside isn't as detailed as like something I would have printed, but I'll be damned if they didn't do a better job printing this than me with regard to all of it. I don't know how much cleanup or processing they had to do after they print out. It makes me curious what they use. It looks like the layer lines on this looks like they stood it on end. If I can let me look at some light on this. Get out of the way, Batman. Yeah, it looks like they stood it on end to print it, which is yeah, straight up and down is how they printed it vertically. But you cannot. I mean, there's no pock marks where they added supports. There's hardly, you can barely distinguish where the layered lines are at. I mean, my printing stuff is pretty good when I print it, but there's always some kind of pock mark on it someplace from where the supports were attached, and they've got none of that. It's like Yeah. So, if money is not an issue for you, and you have something that you want printed, PCBWay did a good job. But man, it was not cheap.
Yeah, still don't sound too cheap.
It was not. But like I said, they did. I mean,
it's a fantastic job, and you
it's
actually
a great
have
job.
something
Yeah.
that you couldn't get the print on your machine properly.
Yeah, it was like it would always be like one little thing that would jack up. It's like out of like a, I don't know, 13, 14 hour print, one little thing would mess up, and it's like, what am I doing with my life?
I didn't think about.
It says Federal Appeals Court granted the administration a stay in the lower court. Back on again. It goes back to the court on June 9th, most likely headed to SCOTUS. SCOTUS?
SCOTUS.
What is SCOTUS? That's not a
Supreme
term I'm
Court.
familiar with.
Supreme Court.
Oh, I gotcha. You put that file on Google in the drive.
Well, I sent a direct link to you on Instagram. I mean, it's the last file. The thing would go into Instagram. It's there.
All right, I'm opening it up. If it'll open, it's just spinning.
It's a Google Drive folder.
It's still just spinning.
Well, I can't help it that your connection sucks. I have no control over that.
Oh, that whole city diorama is from Toy Blogs. That's really nice looking. I wonder if that's handmade or 3D modeled. Like I could 3D model a city block, no problem. I could probably hand make it too, but printing it would be a pain in the butt.
Unless you got large high-end printers.
I don't have I have not large high-end printers.
Like in ones that keep sending these people on the YouTubes, like so sent us our walk-in printer.
Yeah,
be nice.
That cat doesn't know what's going on. I got no clue. The cat that you sent me?
No, I forget what I sent you.
Somebody's spinning a cat in circles, and the cat's just looking around like, what the hell's going on?
Oh, yeah.
I know what's going on.
Where are you on? It should be like the last thing I sent you.
I gotta scroll down. I mean, there's some stuff there, man. I gotta scroll down.
Glad I don't have you on screen.
Probably a good thing. Who knows what we would see.
I don't remember what I sent you.
Alpha Proto would like it. No, I'm just kidding. Everybody likes cats.
Yeah.
How about you just download this? Do you have that in two different? Do you have it as a? What kind of file is this?
It's an Illustrator file.
Is it actually an Illustrator file, like the AI file, so I can pull the Warriors of Lore off the top of it?
Yes, it is a vector file, all vector.
Okay, so I think what would work best if I did it in 2, 3, 4 parts. Is the black a different layer for the letters, or is that just a outline?
Let me get you back on screen so I know what you're talking about. All right.
On the layers on the, is this a double layered word here, or is it a single layer word?
That is 3 pieces. The black is the background. The gray is another color. No, wait a minute.
We're about to find out.
Yeah. The black is the background. Then the gray. Then you got the color for the letters. It's all vector file, no text.
Okay.
I took out the extra points and like on the clean up the file. You think I just sent you a flat picture?
What is this?
What? It's the background. Oh, the gray is the background. Then the black is letter over top that. And those are parts of that should be linked together.
I was hoping that the letters would just be over the top of this wing structure that you got here. Do you happen to have the file so that where before you cut those letters out of it, where these were actual letters, and then the wing picture over the top, like the black wing parts over the gray?
Not easily accessible here. It's upstairs on the other computer.
Okay, that would make it a lot easier.
Okay, so that's for Sunday.
Yeah. So because what I would do is I would take each of these into the program. I would export them as a SVG file and then import them as a. Well, I'll just show you. I'm not gonna do it with that.
You want the background, the wings, then the.
Yeah, I want
the letters.
The background, like the gray background, and then I want the wings, the black lines for the wings, and I want the letters separately so that they're not cut out. So file, export, export as. Export.
That looks good.
Probably. No, don't say that. And then file, import, SVG, desktop, downloads, wall. What the crap?
Did you hear me?
I'm gonna say that did not export properly. What would you think?
I would say you're correct.
Let's try that again.
those are all on separate layers, so you can actually just go to the layer and turn them off. Or hit the select button.
It's so satisfying to delete them, though. Like individually. Or wasn't that satisfying?
No, because I know you can just go over and delete the entire layer and accomplish the thing at one click.
Shh.
Or just...
I gotta do stuff that makes it look like I do stuff. Come on. I can't just not do stuff that makes it look like I don't do stuff. I gotta do stuff that makes it look like I do stuff.
So it looks like you're doing the stuff with the thing with the stuff, but
yeah,
you're looking busy when doing stuff.
That's right. File. Import. G. Import. Aha! Look at that.
There you go.
I'll look at it from the top side like that. So, and then what I would do is I would take this and I would go, blender, make it thick. We want it thick. And then we go, ka-chunka, and make it however thick we want it. Maybe not that thick. That might be a little bit too thick.
That's what you said.
Like that. And that.
Mm-hmm.
That looks good.
Mm-hmm. Looks fantastic.
And then we go. Look at all that stuff I just did. Wow. That was amazing. Did you see how that worked?
Now, if you selected just the black stuff,
okay, you'll see in a minute. You'll see in a minute what's happening here. All right. And when we go, letters, export, and we go 10 because 2 was obviously not enough. And then we go back over here and we go file, import, SVG, letters, import. And then we go clicky. And then we go why is this not join? Okay. Dan. And of course, this is just color for the thing. We don't, it won't actually make any difference on how it prints. Because unfortunately, I don't have $15 billion to buy one of those color 3D printers that they use in the toy industry.
Why?
But if anyone wants to donate $15 billion to me, I will take it. Yeah. Because you wanted the letters raised, right?
Right.
So that's how I would do it. And then I would have the outline for the wing. You wanted the outline for the wings raised so that the inside of the wings were depressed? Or you wanted the outline of the wings inset so that the insides of the wings were up?
Yes.
Yeah, so then I would just need the outline of the wings, and what I would do is I would take it and...
Oh, you got the outline of the wings.
No. Because the outline of the letters are also in there.
Okay.
If you want the center, the gray part of your wings raised, then I need those things separated. Because, like, if you want it indented, I can do it how it is now, right? Because all I would do is I would take this, and then I would do it. Like, say this is like the wing stuff here, and I'd do this, and then I would go. First, I would have to apply the solidify.
Let's see what they look like indented.
No, first I have to convert to a mesh, and then that automatically solidifies.
If you indent it, then the bottom is raised up, so it kind of pulls off the same effect.
And then I would do boolean, and I would go different. And I go pow. And then I will wait 900 years for it to process. Did it not grab that? All right, fine. I won't do it because it's not a mesh. Okay. Now do it. Let me change the color on that so that it's not so dark so it can see it.
Yeah. Oh,
so that then is inset. So that would be like the lines, and then.
Well, if you bring in the instead of insetting the text like that, bring in the other piece over top that, then inset that over top the base.
I don't know if that'll work. I'll give it a try.
I think it will.
Yeah, okay.
You got the positive.
I said I would give it a try. Don't push your luck. Don't push your luck, mister.
Positive. I'm positive it'll work.
I feel like positive people get disappointed a whole lot. They're like, yeah, everything's gonna be great. It'll be perfect. It'll be wonderful. And then, bam, they get hit by a bus and lose their legs and half their arms, which is one of them, and half their eyeballs, which is also one of them.
If a city bus, he's set for life, so he's being positive.
Nope. Because it was stolen, so the city was not liable for it. And they just leave him there on the sidewalk. Nobody calls the ambulance because they don't want to get involved. It's too much trouble.
Ambulance.
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 Yeah. Now this one has a lot of interior spaces where it is not solid, so I don't know how it's going to export.
Hey.
We'll find out. Don't get your hopes up. You might be disappointed. Outline.
Okay, you told me to keep my hopes up, and I will.
I said not to do that.
See, not do that. Okay, that means to get your hopes up.
I am tired.
I think it will work because the letters are all different pieces.
All right, and then we go. See that? See those areas where it sticks up crazy?
Yeah.
That's probably going to cause problems. Not probably. It will definitely cause problems.
Why is it doing that?
Why is it doing that?
Yeah.
Because if it didn't do that, then it would be working nice and easy. And this, why did this import as a separate object? Yeah, maybe it's doing it again. It is doing that because it thinks that the normal's direction is flip-flopped on those areas. And when it gets flip-flopped, what happens is that it then decides that, oh, if that's not
What?
If it decides that it's flip-flop, then it goes a different direction than everything else on the thing.
I don't like flip-flops.
I don't like it either. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 places that I see.
Won't give you solo layout. I'll be right back.
Yeah, so 7 places on there are flip-flopped. What if we unsolidify and then convert it to a mesh? And then we will check the normals. Now, there it all looks good. And we will extrude that on the Z-axis. And then we will take off the facial orientation because that blue is awful hard on the eyes. All right, now maybe I'll be able to see. Yeah, maybe like that. that. And then it processes for a long time. All right, and then we take this part and we hide that. We're going to take that part and we're going to change the color of it so it's not so dark so we can see it.
There's some weird holes in it.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll just separate it out where the wings are separate pieces. That makes things a lot easier.
Yeah, because what happens is that, even though I switched it to be a SVG file and then started to do it the other, like, what is?
It's just being weird. Yeah.
Okay, that's just where they enter. That's just because they're in
Yeah,
the same.
the faces on that one is split. Looks like it. The middle of the R, the lower button, right there.
Yeah, that's gone.
Yeah, it's gone.
Crap.
Where are you? Yeah, for you kids. We'll get away with it. All right. I have my assignment.
This might do it. This might do it.
Wait.
Why is that line selected?
It wants to be a pain. Why? Let's go red. Let's go red. Should go with this red or super bright red. Go with super bright red. I think I got enough base on
any other weird?
Do what?
So you see any other weird faces? See, all right. That's how you want it with those upraised. Like so, just like it is right now. Then
similar, yeah.
Similar.
I think we'd make them separate. It'd be better.
What do you mean make them separate?
You just what you told me to do. I mean, see, look at it. Let me give you full screen again. Let's see what's going on.
Yeah, because here, look.
Yeah, I see it there. It's got an edge.
You got edges on. Anywhere where it had that drop shadow on it, now it's got that weird edge. That's what's going on the side of these letters here.
All the wing pieces need to be individual pieces that lay over top of the background.
Yeah, those pieces.
Yep.
Yeah, and they could be full. You don't got to break them up or anything. Like, if you have the full shape underneath there, that would be ideal. I don't know. That's what it's going to do.
What do you mean the full shape underneath there?
See how this is a full shape here?
Yeah.
And see how this is like a broken shape? Like
oh, you mean the letters cut out the stem? Yeah, that's what I know what you mean. That's what I thought you meant. It was like the whole wings.
Yeah,
not freak it out. Yeah, that's what I was going to do.
Yeah.
You think I'm crazy or something?
Well. Well. All right, so that's what needs to happen. I'm not gonna say that. I'll just no. I don't want. I don't.
Yeah, no point.
Open. Don't save. I would just do it all.
I'm a potato.
Your potato.
Uh-huh. I know it's not good for my blood pressure, but I've found a quick thing if you need a snack. You know like the chicken in a can you can get.
Mm-hmm.
Throw some maple bourbon seasoning on it and throw it in an air fryer. Good stuff. No, that's good.
You know, I feel like I did a pretty good job on this. It needs some polishing, but
What's that, Hellboy gun or something?
mm-hmm.
One more coat of red after that dries, and that's all it needs. Now, what else to work on? I like my new paint racks I got hanging behind my workstation.
Yeah, paint racks are handy. I got some paint racks recently too, but they're not as fancy as yours.
Well, mine are not really fancy. I just hung them up on little plastic acrylic trays I found on Amazon cheap, and it was like worked out great.
Yeah.
Just need a level angle. It was, man, all that work I did on Sunday night working on this boot, almost lost it. Yeah. I was gremlin, not me to lose it personally.
That would suck so bad.
I was, after the stream, I was using one of these bits here, and you know, these can fail, the thing unravel. It did that and caught it and slung it across the room.
Good times.
Yeah, it's like all that work I did. Like I spent 2 hours, well, even more than that, like before the stream started, hollowing this out, sanding it, smoothing it. Then it gets slung across the room because this thing goes. I was like, I thought, and I took a while for me to find it. And I was like, man, I'm going to have to cast another one and do all that hollowing and cutting.
Yeah.
And luckily I found it. It cracked it, but it was salvageable. So I was just lucky I found it. So I searched for it for a while. And it's like, man, I give up on it. And then it was on the mantle above my fireplace.
Wow.
And that's a good distance from here.
That took quite a trip. Let's see. I know this is probably detail nobody's never going to see, but that's not the point. The point is that I know that it's there. Oh, man.
I got my character sheet back from my artist friend. I did a commission to do the turnaround for Lower.
Mm-hmm.
I went to, and I'm going to reorganize it and adding more to it. He scanned it for me too. He's got like a large bed scanner for, I can do 11 by 17.
Mm-hmm.
Which he sent it to me in a format I didn't even know people still used. He sent me in a TIFF format.
Really? That's weird.
I was like, I didn't know people still use that.
Oh, man.
So it can be a large format, like 90 some megabytes. It's like, what the?
TIFF, huh?
I thought that was a dead format.
Yeah, I don't know. Weird.
High-res JPEG be better than TIFF. It looks great though. The piece did.
Yeah.
You're talking about those details that nobody will ever see. I'm going to mix some epoxy up and screw this inside this boot cuff that will never be seen.
Sounds like a plan.
Ambulance.
Ambulance.
Mm-hmm. Remember one time we were talking about redoing his sword? Lower sword? Lower sword?
Yeah, I mean, but that was like so long ago. I thought we had decided that maybe he didn't need one anymore. I mean, is the sword really a futuristic weapon that, you know? I mean, does it really make sense for him to even have one?
Not until the end of the story.
See?
I was thinking like if we ever do like a 2.0, there's no immediate need for it. We can try to replicate with instead of the fuller in the middle like we did. We can get like the triangular, the edge in the middle, that blade.
I don't know what you're talking about. I'm just gonna say, I'm kind of tired. It has been a long week. And a busy day. And I was going to start my vacation tomorrow, but I got to go do more work before I can leave. So I'll have to postpone my vacation until Saturday.
This type of sword right here, I got on the screen.
Looks great.
Yeah, I know you're not looking at it.
Give me a second, I'll get there. That's wouldn't be very difficult. That's not too much different than the one I already made for you.
Right. It's similar like hilt design, like what you already did, just with the edge down the center type sword.
With the raised center.
Yeah.
I don't even remember what I did. I remember that hilt being like the one I made, but I don't remember what the blade looked like at all.
I got one right here. All painted up and everything.
You didn't like that inset part?
I like it. It's cool, but this is my original concept though. Like,
that's called a blood channel. That's for when you stab somebody and leave it in there. The blood pumps out through that raised section.
Well, I don't need a blood channel.
Why not?
Because he's not going to be stabbing everybody all the time.
Why not?
Because he's not the villain.
What kind of hero is he if he's not going around stabbing people all the time?
Well, that's kind of the definition of being a hero. You don't go around stabbing people all the time.
I mean, not all the time. He's got to eat breakfast. But after breakfast, he could go stab some folks.
He's not one of the edgy, like, kill all the bad guy type heroes.
But That's the best solution, is a permanent solution. Then he doesn't have to continue to kill the bad guys because they're already dead. Look, if Batman had killed the Joker the first time that he, murdered somebody, he wouldn't have had to worry about him murdering all those other people that he ended up murdering.
Yeah. But it also makes him a villain as well, though.
No.
Because he's murdering people.
No. It's called justice.
Not according to the law.
Ask a judge that sentences somebody to capital punishment.
Well, that's through this court process. You can't put that on your own.
Well, ask Judge Dredd. He'll disagree with you.
Well, he's a judge.
He is the law.
Because in their society, the judges are judges.
So just change it so that Batman's the judge.
But he's not.
But he could be. He can afford to go to law school. He can afford to buy his way into a judgeship. I mean, that's just like how it's done, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Who's to say that the lore guy is not a space judge?
Me.
Yeah, but you won't say that anymore if he stabs you.
He's not going to stab you.
See how that solves all the problems right there? See a problem, stab a problem. Problem solves.
I don't think that's quite how that works.
I think it is. You ever had a problem again with something that you stabbed after it was a problem the first time?
Well, I've never stabbed my problems.
See? And and you got lots of problems now, don't you? But if you had stabbed them the first time, they would have learned their lesson, and then they wouldn't have been a problem no more. That's how it works. That's called tough love.
Well, I have a character for that.
I read about it somewhere. It was a very stabby book. It's like the type of love that Wolverine and Deadpool have for each other. It's very stabby kind of love.
When two heroes with two anti-heroes that meet up and have some healing factors.
Yeah, and we see how that turned out.
Yeah, they stab each other.
A lot.
Yeah.
They had a lot of problems, but they worked them out. And ended up saving the multiverse in the end.
Made Disney their first $1 billion in a long time.
Yeah, this is true. See, they even solved Disney's problems by stabbing them.
Well, Disney didn't learn a lesson.
Okay, well, their problems didn't stay solved. I think they need to have more stabbing. I'm really tired, if you couldn't tell. I don't really believe that you should stab all your problems. Some of your problems can be solved with ice cream.
Stabbing with ice cream?
Yeah. If it's cold enough.
Mm-hmm.
I guess you could try to talk it out first.
Talk about the ice cream?
Yeah. Decide on which flavor is the best.
And why is it chocolate?
It's not.
Flash.
You know what? Do you know what? Okay. You know what they do to make chocolate ice cream? They take all the other flavors of ice cream that isn't quite like all the way, like if it's not like a full batch or whatever, all the leftovers, right? That don't make it into the tubs. And then they mix the quote unquote chocolate flavoring in on top of that. And that's what they sell you as chocolate ice cream.
I don't think that's how that works.
That's how that works. Chocolate ice cream is a lie.
I think whoever told you that was deceiving you.
Nope. Chocolate ice cream is the bastard child of every other flavor ice cream crammed into one tub and having all of its
That's the color black.
stuff hidden by chocolate flavoring.
I think you're confusing that with just the color black.
Nope. Hey, there's no disinformation on the internet. It's all true. As true as what Obi-Wan Kenobi says. You know, from a certain point of view. So what you're telling me is that Obi-Wan Kenobi is a liar and the internet is full of fake information.
He's absolutely a liar. Remember what he told Luke when what happened to his father? A young Sith Lord Vader killed him.
So what you're saying is that wasn't true?
It wasn't true. Obi-Wan Kenobi cut his ass up and left him to die on.
Except that it was true because Darth Vader was his father, but Darth Vader, in saving Luke from the Emperor, ended up killing himself. And therefore, what Obi-Wan Kenobi said was not only prophetic, but also true.
Nah.
Yeah.
Luke also tried to murder his nephew in his sleep.
Nah, I mean, that wasn't a real movie. That's an internet lie. Pretty sure that never happened. I think I had COVID at the time. I'm pretty sure it was a fever dream. A nightmarish hellscape conjured by the dark parts of my mind.
Unfortunately, that's pre-COVID.
You don't know when I saw that movie.
thought you said it wasn't a real movie.
Or did I?
You said it was. I thought you said it was the real movie. It was a fever dream.
Well, see, when your brain gets so hot that it gets all muddled, how would you know? It could confuse your sense of time. Leaving you forever muddled. I'm pretty sure it was a Korean knockoff.
No, that would probably be better though.
Okay, that's fair.
Koreans make some cool movies. Oh, Korea. I emphasize South Korea.
Well, North Korea movies are all propaganda.
So, The Last Jedi.
That, and I don't think I've ever seen a North Korean movie.
Or have you, and you just didn't even know it?
Pretty sure I would. No, I'm not even sure that I've seen a South Korean movie.
They're on Netflix.
I don't have Netflix. I don't have Netflix. Don't have Facebook. Don't have. There are lots of things I don't have. But
You just like shake your fist in the sky, like, why are you?
you know, I think my life's better without it. What happened here?
Yeah. The time yet?
Huh?
Is it time yet?
You yawning? It's only 8:34.
It's 9:34 here.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm out of coffee.
Coffee? What is that?
It's the elixir of life. It makes everything better. It's filled with caffeine and happiness.
I heard it's bad for you.
It's filled with the will to live. Coffee?
Yeah.
Coffee's not bad for you.
Are you sure?
Yeah. Coffee's actually good for you.
I heard it like makes you really tired.
No. Has the opposite effect. Wakes you up.
And makes you very forgetful.
Nope.
Not alert.
Pretty sure that's not what that is.
And
Pretty sure that's the lack of coffee that does all those things.
are you sure?
Yeah. But coffee will have to wait until bills are paid.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I met a few people in my life that didn't like coffee.
I'm one of them. I hate coffee.
Explain some things.
It does.
Yeah.
What's to explain?
Explains why you're all tired and forgetful.
Huh?
You don't have coffee in your soul. You know what's weird? I remember making this.
You lost
Like,
it.
I mean, I know I made it, but I remember like going through the process. It's like one of those things where you wouldn't think that you would remember.
I don't follow. What? What are you talking about?
It's like that day back in like 2006 when I was washing dishes in the kitchen, listening to NPR on the radio, and they did a story about where the gravestones at the National Cemetery come from. And then my girlfriend brought home Chipotle burritos for lunch. You know, it's like, you know, sometimes you just remember weird details about stuff. You know?
Mm-hmm. Did that one live in Canada?
Huh?
Did that one live in Canada?
No. You know, I've never had a girlfriend from Canada.
That's so you say. Nemo Hill, last name I got the Tony the Tiger figure. Sticker sent me a picture. I think he picked it up.
I was tempted. Not gonna
Looks
lie.
good. He looks great.
But unfortunately, they weren't giving it away for free, so I had to pass on that.
What?
Yeah. I know, right? How dare they?
Asking money for their products.
I know. What do they think this is? Some kind of like capitalist country?
Yeah. Somebody burned one of these idiot Hollywood types. Was like talking about how bad capitalism is, and like got somebody's like, yeah, movies should be free. They should be like for all people, and no matter what age and income bracket they are in, they should be able to access movies, and all actors should be paid the same wage.
And how did that go over?
I don't think he replied.
Yeah, probably didn't.
These people who are worth millions because they live in a capitalistic society complaining about capitalism.
Yeah.
And they're not
Okay.
they're not going to use their money to help anybody.
If you don't like capitalism, then don't be a capitalist. Give all your money to charity. You can go make it all you want, but then you're not allowed to keep it. And then what you get is the sound of a car that's not hitting on all cylinders. But.
Yep.
But what? Tired.
Good. Proto says Jada should try to make Looney Tunes characters. They would sell. Yep, they would.
Looney Tunes? Yeah.
Yep. As long as they're made well. Not the crap that's flooding Ollie's right now with the Space Jam 2.
Okay, that Space Jam 1 wasn't even a good movie in my opinion. I didn't like it. I was probably too old for it at the time.
Yeah, Toys did really well with Chester and Tony, so if they made more like that, they would sell. Mm-hmm. Didn't they do with the other cereal box mascots, like Count Chocula, Frankenberry, and stuff?
I don't know how it is sold.
I was asking you to do them.
You know, I thought they did, but
I think they did. I think that's the company that did them.
that looks nice. Smooth now. I guess I did model that without a curtain. Right.
Were you talking to me?
No, I was talking to myself. So that gun probably doesn't need a trigger. It's really small.
Yeah.
I think the trigger would not ever be seen behind a finger, and it would just get in the way of getting a finger in there.
And just get broke off.
Yep.
I was sometime when you got time, I was like, if you can find like models of Colt, like Colt pistols, really for free on Colt 3D. Problem when you scale them down to action figure size, the trigger guard's too thin and they break. If you try to do anything with it, I was wondering if you can like thicken up the trigger guard for me on one of those one day.
Well, if you find one that you like, send it to me, and I'll thicken up the trigger guard. And then it's not me guessing what model of Colt that you like.
What? You're supposed to know.
You know,
I thought we were friends. I thought we were friends.
I'm pretty good, but I'm not a mind reader.
I know I'm going to get a package that's going to be smashed tomorrow from Amazon. I ordered 2 packs of cookies and a 24 case of canned chicken. They'll box it together loosely. I know they will.
Yeah, I just want to hear that stuff, flop around in there. That is not what I wanted it to do.
Yeah, it has enough clearance now. like where I got sugar issues, I like to keep some cookies around handy because sometimes my medication works too well and my sugar drops too much. It feels like a panic attack when it does that. Get real watery feeling. So I need to eat something quick. Well, not really quick, but I need to eat something or it won't go away.
I think I'm gonna go put this on the printer.
I'm about ready to finish up too. Just a little bit of sandpaper. We'll call it a night here. I'm thinking about take one of those floor helmets you made and bring it like large just to have on my desk.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Probably take like 3 days to print.
How large are you talking about printing?
Big as it will go on the print bed.
Oh yeah. Well, you're only going to be able to get it so wide, and so as a result, you're looking at maybe like a 10-hour print.
Well, it's edge to edge when I load it up into the slicer. That'd be pretty big. Yep, those are ready to paint, just need to be washed up. The bracer and the pan. Using the counter gauntlets.
Chester, yes. Yep, those are nice.
Mm-hmm. I don't know who made them for me. Somebody, I can't remember.
Some crazy guy who doesn't get nearly enough sleep and likes coffee a lot for some reason.
Yep. I'm glad I switched to tough resin too, because I drop shit a lot.
Yeah, regular resin's not going to just shatter when you drop it. I mean, you do have to drop it onto like a floor that is also hard.
Which
if you drop it on a carpet, it's probably going to be fine.
Like your fire demons printing regular heads are regular resin. That's before I started using the tough stuff.
Yeah. There it is.
Dread. Hello.
No, those are all solid figures. That shouldn't be a problem.
The helmets, the open helmet too, shouldn't be too bad where it's hollow.
No, it's concerned about the gun. Oh
no, I was talking about when I was printing my helmet too. I know that one. You said it's solid. Yeah. I ordered some more resin. I figure it's going to take quite a bit of resin to print a big one. Make it a big one. The bullets in the magazine that will never be seen.
They'll be seen from the side.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they'll be seen from the side.
Okay.
There's an open space there. Right there.
Okay.
I got 2 open windows on it. You'll be able to see those.
Is that what they call them there clips?
I bet the dog. That's what they call it. That's not a clip, though. I think that's a magazine, isn't it?
It's a magazine. I was making fun of people that call it clip. Like it's a M1 carbine.
Do I trust that I did it right?
Yeah. Did you? What hit you? Someday,
I mean, that's probably going to be supported. I think that might be a little bit excessive.
Prickly. No.
What's the size of this? That should be. We're going to support the back of this some. Well, if it comes off the printer and it's really prickly, we're just going to call that stubble.
It goes over here.
The law does not rest to shave.
That's what I want to put together to make sure it doesn't rub. It does.
All right. That'll do it.
Mm-hmm.
Just like this.
That'll do it. What are we talking about? Mm-hmm. All right. Here.
All right, I'll be right back. I gotta go get my USB drive.
Mhm.
I have to be careful about how I save these, because if I save them wrong, then I have some weird, like that image on the left will be the image that it saves with the file. So, and the writing on the screen on my 3D printer is so small it's hard to read. So I got to make sure I have an image I can recognize. Oh.
Yep. There's that. And there's that one. Well, that's a left too. Two lefts. Two lefts don't make a right. One says L2, one says L1. Yeah. That don't go on this leg. Where's my right leg? I don't know. Got the right thigh. I don't know where the right knee's at. No, I got plenty of those legs. So.
All right. I don't know what's going on, but it is not cooperating. Now it's cooperating.
You want to just make out you be a liar.
I just chuck it up in there. Let's save that.
You said, what'd you say to me?
I said my computer at work is so slow by comparison to this. We would still be sitting here tomorrow waiting for this thing to save. I like my computer.
Are you trying to trick it?
Send my brother a Vice to tell him thank you. That's a butt.
Yeah, it is. A big old butt.
Some prime legs. Those are some robot legs from Robot Superman.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise known as Cyborg Superman. Otherwise known as some guy's name that I can't remember.
Here's a question. Since Hank Henshaw created his body because he used the technology from the birthing matrix from the original storyline when he left Earth. That was post-crisis. Superman was actually born on Earth. He wasn't born on Krypton. They actually put the DNA in the birthing matrix and combined when it got close to a habitable world. And Hank Henshaw inhabited that. Used it where he became basically an energy being and took over the birthing pod and actually basically went to warp and flew out into space. use the residual DNA inside it to make the Kryptonian parts for his Cyborg Superman body.
Uh-huh.
Since he's a technopath, was the brain robotic? Is part organic, part cybernetic Kryptonian technology. So since he's a technopath, would just have the body have a computer brain so he can control it? Or would it have an organic brain that he's inhabiting?
Mm-hmm. I didn't write the comic book. Alpha Proto, very cool, Judge. I thought about using the recent MCU Guardians of the Galaxy Star-Lord and Nebula as Mantis as bases. The MCU figures they're cheap on clearance. Yeah, I got Drax that I'm going to use for the base for my Judge. I like a beefier Judge.
Yeah, you do.
Hey, we don't want no puny, tiny. Look, he's genetically engineered. He's going to be beefy.
Yeah, he is.
All right, starting to get weird around here.
Yeah, it is.
I'm waiting for somebody to sarcastically type "starting to" in the chat with a question mark.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. There. Look, somebody typed "starting to" in the chat.
Yeah. That guy's anyway.
Yeah. That was so sneaky, nobody saw that coming at all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I heard that dude's just a jerk.
Yeah.
I wouldn't pay my mind to it.
I think I'm going to go kick him down a flight of stairs. So give me a minute.
Fat Club him.
We don't talk about that. I think I'm going to call it a night because I'm done. And
Yep.
It's 9:17.
Yep, I think it's time to call it a night too.
Yeah, I'm going to stick a fork in myself. So.
Oh, really?
All right. Yep. Thanks for having me on again. Thanks for coming out.
Well, I appreciate you coming hanging out with me tonight. Everybody in the chat, thank you as well. We'll be back on Sunday night. Same thing, different time, but same channel. Well, actually, same time, but different day. But anyway, we've got the toy news tomorrow night. With Toy Talk, we'll be talking about the reveals today and other stuff. We'll catch y'all next time.
Cheers.
Later.